Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be making a tier list of all the NFL teams, rank them from S to A, B, C, and D. And of course S is like the elites grade. And then A, B, C, D, D is the Giants grade, basically. And yeah, let's get started. So first of all, the Tennessee Titans. I have them as a B grade because I think they're not good enough to be in the A grade. They've lost AJ Brown, and sure, people are like, oh, they replaced him with Treylon Burks, which is basically AJ Brown, but that's his ceiling. That's the ceiling of Treylon Burks. We don't know yet if he's going to be as good as AJ Brown. So I think they got way worse there with Julio Jones also, even though that was not a big loss, but they got worse in my opinion. So I got them as B. Dolphins, I got them as a B. There's gonna be a lot of Bs, but of course, with Tyreek Hill, they got way better, and of course, Teron Armstead on the offensive line, and a new coach. I don't know if he's gonna be better because Brian Flores was really good, but Sony running backs also come in. So like the Dolphins have gotten way better, for being honest. The Browns, there's gonna be a lot of B grades if I'm being honest. The Browns also B. I don't see any of them being A's, but I don't see them any of them being C's. So all three of them B's. Deshaun Watson, of course, that's knowing that Deshaun Watson is gonna play because we don't know yet if he's gonna get suspended. If he gets suspended, I think for the whole season I'll put them down as a C. The Jaguars have a promising future, but they're D. They're more than one tier under Titans, Dolphins, and Browns, in my opinion. But yeah, they got a bright future though. Doug Peterson's a good coach. I think they could be all right. Like I think they could be a C potentially, but I'll put them down as a D. The Lions I'll put as a C. I like what they've been doing, and I like the new coach Dan Campbell. Well, the now second year coach. He was actually decent last season. They were decent in a couple of those games. Like they were tight with those games. I know they were the second worst team in the NFL, but honestly they did not play like it. So I'm gonna give them a benefit of a doubt and put them as a C. Vikings, I'll put them as a B. I do like, and also considering the NFC's worse, I think they'll be a B. I think they'll make the playoffs, and I think that because, yeah, the NFC, and because in my opinion they improved. And like when you look at their wide receiver core with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, Irv Smith is back, tight end, Dalvin Cook. Kirk Cousins is actually not worse. Is better than people make him out to be. People are underrating him a lot. Buccaneers are. I'm gonna put A because they got worse from last year with offensive line, and also quite a lot of players actually did not re-sign so far, like Rob Gronkowski, Ndamukong Suh, and then players like Ryan Jensen and what's his name, the dude that retired, the offensive line. Yeah, okay, well that offensive lineman that retired, I just have a blank. I don't know why. Yeah, okay, it'll come back to me. But anyways, they got worse from last year in my opinion, and even last year they were not like that good. Well, they were good, but not that good. Foreigners a B. The thing is, we don't know if Trey Lance can be good or not. If Trey Lance is great, then they'll be A. And also we don't know anything like what's happening with Deebo Samuel. We don't know if he's gonna be playing or not. If he's gonna be traded. So there's a couple question marks around 49ers, but they have a very strong team roster. Falcons has to be a D. In my opinion, they're the worst roster in the NFL. I mean, I'm sure they're building for next year, they're rebuilding and such, but like, how can you be this bad? How can you be wide receiver 1 be Oladius Zacchaeus? But like, did they sign another wide receiver? Actually, they drafted a wide receiver, of course. We'll see how good he is. It's Drake London. He seems to be decent. Wait, is it Drake London? No, I don't think it. Is it Drake London? I'll just check if it's Drake London or not. No, I think Drake London went to the 49 to the Commanders, so it's actually not Drake London. The wide receiver that they signed is. But anyways, they still got a very bad roster. Their best offensive weapon is of course Kyle Pitts. He's gonna be good, but that's it basically. If Calvin Ridley was there, that would have changed quite a lot. It is Drake London that they drafted. So yeah, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Cordell Patterson. It's just not that good in total. And quarterback Marcus Mariota, I actually think he's not that bad, but the roster is bad. And apparently Deion Jones might leave too. So Ravens, I'm actually gonna put an A. People are also underrating them. They're forgetting how good they were before the injuries. Well, last year, 2 years ago, I mean, and also they were first place in the AFC with quite a bit of injuries until like they collapsed in the late in the season. But they were like 8-3, 9-3, 9-4 before Lamar Jackson got injured. Like they were first in the AFC. People are forgetting that way too easily. And they improved the draft. They were great. Cal Hamilton. They also signed Marcus Williams. No, they got better. And yeah, I think they're very good. Bears, I think I'll put them in D. I don't. The thing is with Bears, I don't know. Like I think they're rebuilding. Well, no, I know they're rebuilding, but I don't think they're like that bad. But I think they're worse than Lions. I think they'll finish fourth in that division, and I think they're way better than Falcons, but they're worse than C in my opinion. If there was an even worse tier, that'd be for Falcons alone. Yeah, because for me they're the worst team in the NFL, but Bears are slightly above, and I think they'll be D. It depends if Justin Fields does great or not. Bengals A, with the trio of wide receivers, with everything that like last year, making the Super Bowl. No one, I don't think there's a single person on this planet that actually predicted them to make the Super Bowl and that were serious about it. Not like Bengals fans saying, "Haha, we're gonna make the Super Bowl." No, I don't think there's a single person on this planet that thought they would make the Super Bowl, and that were actually serious about it. So I think I'll put them A. Cowboys B. They got worse. That offensive line got worse, of course, and yeah, basically that wide receiver core got worse. That defense got slightly worse too. Yeah, they just got worse. And last year, in my opinion, they were really top tier of B or lower tier of A. So this year they're in B. Texans D. I don't know what they're doing with the free agency signings. They're signing so many random players. It's interesting. At the same time, it's not interesting. Like I don't get what they're doing, and like it's not really rebuild because you're not making a lot of cap space. You're not trading a lot of your players. You're just signing a bunch of random players. It's been 2 years that you've done that. Davis Mills is a good young quarterback you could have built around. Instead, you're signing a bunch of $3 million 1-year vets, basically. Colts, they're really close to A, but they'll be B for me. Thing is, I think they're lacking a wide receiver 1. Michael Pittman's a good wide receiver 2, but they got no one else. And I think if they got a wide receiver 1, then they would be A with Jonathan Taylor, with Matt Ryan, with that good offensive line, that very decent defense with Darius Leonard and DeForest Buckner. They could be an A if they had, for example, if they trade for Deebo Samuel, I'll put them at A. The Rams have to be S tier. They're just Super Bowl champs. So like they're S in my opinion. They're the first team that are S. And let's see if they can repeat. They're the best team in the NFC, that's for sure. Chargers, they'll be A. They're a high B or a low A. They made some moves in the free agency, but the coach is not proven, of course. So that's the real big thing. If they had a great coach, they'd be a S tier, but I'll put them A tier for now. Chiefs, A tier. They would be S with Tyreek Hill, but I'll put them A tier because they got slightly worse. But of course they've been dominating an AFC until last year, and so they should be S. and they would have been S with Tyreek Hill. But A is still very good for them. Saints, B. There's not many C's, but B. Saints are actually better than people think, in my opinion. Their wide receiver core is decent with Olave, with Michael Thomas, and they signed Jarvis Landry, Alvin Kamara at running back. Jameis Winston actually was good before getting injured. Their defense is good. They're a good team, Saints. They're a playoff team, that's for sure. Giants, I'm going to put them in D. It's a new coach. We don't know what he'll do. We don't know how good he'll be. They still have Daniel Jones. In my opinion, Tyrod Taylor is better. I was high on Daniel Jones until like last year. Well, higher than people were on him. Not like high. Eagles, I'll put them as B. Also think they're an underrated team. They're kind of like the Saints in terms of their level. I think they're a 9 to 10 win team. Steelers, I'll put them as C. Their defense is great, but their offense, it's a rookie quarterback. We don't know how he'll be. Wide receiver core got worse. Offensive line is very mediocre. Running back, Najee Harris is pretty much their only good spot on their offense, apart from Chase Claypool maybe. And yeah, I'll put them at C. But their defense is great. Broncos B with Russell Wilson, but on the verge of an A. The thing is, should I put them A? No, I'll put them A. I'm that high on Russell Wilson. And so now we'll move on to the Packers. S. Like, even though they lost Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers is still an elite talent. And their defense actually got way better, too. Their defense can be elite. Their quarterback is elite. Running back, Aaron Jones. And A.J. Dillon. Wide receiver, that's where... But Aaron Rodgers is going to make the wide receivers look good. So that's why I think they're an S team. Panthers, they're a C. Well, they would be a B or an A with a good quarterback, but they got Sam Darnold. The rest of their roster is great. But like, yeah, McCaffrey, the wide receiver core, DJ Moore. Well, McCaffrey's always injured, but if he was not injured, I'm not gonna predict injuries. So I'm gonna be if he's not injured, he's great. DJ Moore at wide receiver. Robbie Anderson. Okay, their tight end also kind of is lacking. And their defense though is elite. Last year they were top 3. So yeah, Raiders a B. I can't move them to an A. I'm sorry. Their coach Josh McDaniels, last time he was a head coach, did not end well. And yeah, Josh Jacobs. The running game is not as good as people make it out to be. Josh Jacobs did not get his option taken. We know there's a reason for that. And their defense is okay, but it's not great. But a B is still a good grade for them. Why is it Redskins? It's Commanders, guys. They're a C in my opinion. They got Carson Wentz is a bit of an interesting quarterback. He's not good. Like, he's not great, of course. He's not very good either. He's not bad though. Like, it's still Carson Wentz. Like last year's, he was not. He did bad, but he didn't do as bad as people make it out to be too. He's an okay quarterback, and the roster and their defensive line is great. The rest of the roster, like Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson, there's still a decent amount of players. So I'll put them as C. Cardinals B. Kyler Murray, when he's not injured, is elite, in my opinion. But it's been 2 years in a row that in the second half of the season they collapse because Kyler Murray and the rest of the Cardinals get injured. Like DeAndre Hopkins, by the way, suspended for 6 games. But yeah, if they continued for the rest of the season like they start the season, they could be great. They're the last team to be undefeated. To be defeated last year. They started 7-0. Bills, I'm a Patriots fan, so it hurts me to say this, but they're an S team. I don't think they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl because Rams have an easy conference, so they have an easy path to the Super Bowl. But they're part of the favorites in the AFC. Josh Allen is elite, and I don't like that. But yeah, that's what he is. Seahawks for me, they're a C. Another team, in my opinion, that are underrated. Well, the thing is, their quarterbacks, Drew Lock and Geno Smith, are not very good, of course. But the rest of their roster, like what Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, people were saying that's the best receiving core, like top five best receiving core in the NFL. At running back, they drafted Kenneth Walker. They got Rashad Penny, Chris Carson. On their defense, they got a couple decent playmakers like Quandre Diggs. Jamal Adams is interesting, maybe not the best there. The thing is, why did they have to release Bobby Wagner? But yeah, they're not that bad a team. Jets, I'm thinking of C, but I'll put them D, because Zach Wilson, like he's just not proven right now. We'll see how he does the next year, but I can't put them as C when Zach Wilson's been as bad as he is. And yes, I'll put Patriots as a C, by the way. I'm not being biased. I won't put them B, even though I think Mac Jones will improve from last year because all rookie quarterbacks improve. And Zach Wilson, let's see if he improves. Also, I'll put them. There's Nelson Aguilar and Johnny Smith that played badly in their first season. They can only improve in their second season. The players like Tyquan Thornton that drafted, there's explosiveness in there. So at least the Patriots will be way more explosive than they were in recent past, in the recent in their recent history. The defense also, there's a lot of linebackers that were injured for the whole season last season, and players like Ronnie Perkins, Cameron McGrone that were highly rated when we drafted them, did not play at all. So let's see how if they can improve this team. So I'll put it as a C just because of the AFC. But honestly, I think it's a high C, low B kind of team. But yeah, that's my tier list. If you got any, if you're pissed off at me, which you probably will be because it's a tier list. So apart from Bills, Packers, Rams fan, you'll probably all think that your team is an S. So you'll all be pissed off at me. But yeah, tell me in the comment section why I should rate your team higher. I think it's pretty fair. There's a lot of B teams in the NFL, which is good. And yeah, I'll do more tier lists as in the next couple of days. And like and subscribe if you are new. And I'll see you next time.